Well, it's Wednesday. I haven't done much this week so far. I don't know what we did Monday. Oh, we had to take the dog to the vet Monday, and by the time I got home, I just worked down in the basement for a while. And then last night, we did get the 84 Daytona gone. We was trying to purchase another car. I don't get people selling cars. So I messaged the seller in the morning, like 40 minutes after they listed this car, asked if they had a title. Went all day long, didn't hear nothing back. About 4:15 yesterday evening, right after we got this car, the 84 gone, I got a message, yes, that was it, nothing else. So I was driving at the time, so my wife took over the phone and she said, when can we come pick it up? Now. That was the message. No more, no less. So she said, okay, we could be there at 6 o'clock because it was 50 minutes away, just under an hour. So, and then, we had to go home and get the money and whatnot. And she said, we can be there at 6 o'clock. What's the address? Well, it's 24 hours later. I'm still waiting on a response. They've read the message. They just chose not to reply. And then today, sometime a little while ago, they marked it as sold. You could have sold this car yesterday. And in your ad, it said, need it gone quickly. You could have been gone with it last night. Instead, you play games. I don't understand people. Sometimes, okay, we might forget, but how do you forget when you're trying to sell something? Anyways, I'm not going to sit here and rant about it. I just don't understand people. I can't figure them out. I'm not going to try to figure them out. I'm going to keep doing what I can do. And if, we would have got it bought, cool. If not, it's not the end of the world. Because Lord knows, I got enough stuff here to deal with now. We are 7 days. So 7 days from today, we will be in Carlisle. At this time of the day, hopefully we are done setting up. We're close to being done setting up and getting ready to go check into the hotel and get some grub, call it a night, and get ready for Thursday. It's going to be a lot. I have a lot of parts ready to go. We've already got a lot of totes and boxes and things priced. A lot of pre-sold stuff, which is always good. I love having pre-sold stuff because that's stuff that you don't have to worry about bringing back home if it doesn't sell. Going 6 hours away is always a gamble because you don't know what to take. If you don't take something, not something that's pre-sold, but something that we try to sell. If you don't take something and somebody comes along, hey, do you have, and we have it, well, that's a potential lost sale. If we have it here, not there. But again, there's only so much room. There's only so much space. So, you take what you think can go and wish for the best. So this evening I'm going to, I think we're going to pull the valve cover on the 84 or the 85 Turbo Daytona. It's backfiring through the throttle body. Timing belt's good. We can mess with the distributor, rotate it around, and it doesn't really change. It starts a little easier, wants to start easier, but it still backfires. So I was talking to my buddy, and we're curious if we have either a stuck valve or a rocker arm that has fallen out of place. So I'm going to pull the valve cover and check that. And then thinking about getting the wife's shadow out tonight. I think I might try to do that. So we got to move the little Celica. I don't know where I'm going to put it at, but I'll find a home for it for now, just for a few hours. And let's get busy. All right, so I'm in the building. This building's a hot disaster. This building wasn't really put together it was thrown together when we had an opportunity to buy the building, and I wasn't prepared. So it is, I'm moving things, so bear with me. So it's just thrown together. It is not ideal, but it serves its purpose. I got plastic down. Because it's a dirt floor. There's no concrete, nothing. But I got a bunch of plastic down for the most part. But I miss this sound. Out of the hundreds and hundreds of these cars that I've owned, this one is by far my favorite. I absolutely love this car. And I'm gonna drive it this summer. I didn't drive it for the last 2 years. Didn't drive it last year. Parked it the year before, so this will be year number 2. But this car is just awesome. I got the shadow out, as you can see, it's missing. I got it out in the driveway. It's still running like shit. But I got it out of the driveway at least. So we're gonna get the LeBaron out next and see what we can do. This car. Get my camera set right. Business. Love this car. And both the rear windows go down. Let's get it outside. Alright, so coming outside. Well, I was just in the house, actually, washing my hands because they're filthy. I was trying to clean up around here a little bit and get some things put in the building. The Toyota is now in the building. It's not going to go over for a while just to get it out of the dang road. But even the way that these cars look at this moment, they're still a beautiful sight. To look out your window and see these 2 cars sitting here. Yes, I know they need a bath. I know they need cleaned up because they've been sitting in the building, and the building's a disaster. But that's where we're heading next. We're gonna take this one around the corner to the car wash. It's literally, I could darn near throw a stone and hit it. But we're gonna run it over there, give it a bath, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And there we go. It's still wet, I just got back. But this is the wife's car. It's a 1990 Shadow ES turbo with a 5-speed. So, pretty nice car. It's got a few flaws, nothing major. The biggest issue with this car is I cannot get it to idle. It has not idled correctly since we've owned the car, and I do not know why. So, here's what's going to happen. It's going to get shipped somewhere and fixed, because I'm done messing with it. I'm going to find somebody that can fix it and pay to have it fixed, because this lady deserves to be able to drive her car. We've owned this car 4 or 5 years, and she probably hasn't put 20 miles on it. Long story involved with it. Not long after we bought it, the engine let loose. Blew number 4 cylinder ring landing. So it sat for a year until I can get another engine and, get it back together. But even then, so that's a year. So we've had it 3-4 years, and she still hasn't driven it. It didn't drive at all last year. And we just don't use it. And she needs to be able to drive her car. Dagnabbit. I got a piece of trim right here, so it bolts here, and then there's clips like this white one, and then it locks in down here. I have been fighting that since I bought the car. Again, I'm going to find somebody that can fix it and pay them and have it done. I'm not going to press about, the black is shrinking here and here. I ain't worried about that. There's a piece of the decal that's missing there. That's not my concern. My concern is I need to get this car so she can drive the darn thing. And then we got the LeBaron. It is clean. It's not perfect. Like I said, I just went to the car wash and sprayed them off and washed them down real quick. So there's going to be wet spots and streaks and stuff, but it is what it is. It's better than them sitting in the building just collecting dust. So I think we're going to do some stuff this spring or this summer. It's already summer. It's the 2nd of July. But we're going to get these fixed and do a few shows, and I don't know, even just take them for a drive. They deserve it, and she deserves it. So with that said, it is almost 8 o'clock at night. I have yet to eat, and I need to go get a shower and get something to eat and call it a night. So hopefully tomorrow night would be Thursday, the 3rd of July. Hopefully I'll be able to get back out here and get some more work done. So until then, we'll see you in a bit. It's Saturday. I haven't really done a lot car related wise. Last couple 3 days. Went yesterday to see my parents. I worked on their car for a while, but other than that, it's been hot and I've just been busy with everything else. So I haven't really done a whole lot. So today's warm, it's hot, but anyways, I have Sunday, Monday, and then we load up the trailer Tuesday. So I have 2 more evenings to get things done. So right now, I'm going to turn on the music. Got the fan running, but I'm going to come outside here, and we have a customer that needs the passenger side mirror off this 91. So we are going to be removing the mirror. In order to get to the mirror, you got to remove the door panel. So we're going to be taking the door panel off to get to the mirror so that we can hopefully get that sold, get that shipped, get it out of here. So I'll show some video of us pulling the mirror. Came back in the garage because it's warm out there. Try to get the TV set up to play music, and we'll work on getting the mirror off. All right, so I'm gonna try to go over this. I don't know how you're gonna see because I can't see the camera and what I'm doing at the same time. I'm zoomed out all the way, but remove the door panel. There's just some screws. Fortunately for us, somebody's already had this panel off, so like items like the bezel here, this part's not needed to remove, but it's gone. So this door panel's pretty well trashed. So I'll talk while I'm doing this. So we've been working on so my wife and I have been together going on 15 years. And down the street from where she used to live, where she lived when we met, was another car. And so I've stopped, I don't know, 3 or 4 times on the car, could never catch anybody home or would never get a phone call. And the last time we stopped, a few months ago, the guy's wife was like, you know, I want him to get rid of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. There's some other cars there and whatnot. But anyways, my wife and I were sitting having breakfast this morning, just sitting there hanging out, and I got a random message that the gentleman, he messaged me and said, hey, I'm the one that's got this car. You stopped about it a while back. Come down, let's make a deal on this car. And like I said, I've been chasing this car for going on 15 years now. So maybe, we're scheduled to go down there tomorrow morning. So maybe tomorrow morning, we'll be dragging yet another parts car home. This one's an L body. I think I gotta get the speaker cover off, so let me pause this, go get a flat blade screwdriver. So anyways, I'm gonna get up in the morning, run down to where this car's at. I didn't have plans on going to get another car tomorrow, but you know, when they present themselves, you gotta do what you gotta do. And for some reason, this speaker cover is not wanting to come off of here. There's a screw or something holding this in. Oh, it's right there, I felt it. They hide them in the carpet on these. So I wasn't sure the speaker cover had to come off. Been a while since I removed the 90 interior, so hopefully I don't bump the camera like I just did. So let's get this door panel off of here and get it out of the way, and there you go. And you're back. So get that out of the way. We got to remove this piece of trim here. I don't know if you can see it. It's just held in by some push pins. I should have brought my other tool instead of this little cheap screwdriver, but it'll work. We'll make it work. Oh, well, boy, it's stuck. There we go. It broke, but it's all right. It's not really worth anything anyways. Pop the caps off. Remove this plastic out of the way. It is stuck as well. That's so we can get to the harness that's right back in here. We started saving these plugs on the car side of them so that we can test these things easier. And Mama Cat is here making her presence known. She's not on camera yet. She's a little camera shy today, I think. Should be an 8mm extension, so we can get up in there. And that might be a 10. The older ones are 8, these might be 10. No? I thought they were 8s. I might have to go find my deep well 8mm. I don't know where it's at. I lost the socket. We don't do anything fun and crazy here. We just make mistakes, but we make up for them. All right, back again. Anyways, I've watched, YouTube videos where they do wild and wacky stuff, or they buy some expensive car and do a lot of expensive stuff to it. And here I am just working on these old Dodges, Chryslers. But I'm not in it for the money on this. I'm in it to help show you what the business is, why we do the business, and how we do the business. So that's what this is more to. So you got 3 8mm nuts. 1, 2, and then the third one's kind of tucked inside here. Once you break them free, you can normally turn them by hand. You get those all out, and that mirror will be ready to pull. And the third one is, did it stay on there or did it come off? There it goes. It fell down inside the door. Normally I try to keep the nuts. They're not really needed. Most people, can reuse their old ones. But I try to keep them. Sorry, my big fingers are in the way. I try to keep them in case they need them. But 2 out of 3 is okay. Then you got a rubber grommet right here that seals where the wires go through. I always just use a flat blade and my fingers and just kind of pop it out of the way. And then the wires, gently slide them up through the hole. This one's a little, there it goes. And you have yourself a mirror with the wires. And it's dirty from sitting, but that's okay, it's not broke. The one that the gentleman has is completely busted along the bottom. So this is a vast improvement over his. Not only that, I'll clean it up. I won't ship a part that looks like that. So, let me pull this off of here. So when I ship parts, 99.9% of the time, they're going to be cleaned up and basically ready to install once you receive them. Because I don't believe in shipping stuff that's filthy dirty. Yeah, our prices may be a little higher than some others, but you get what you pay for. With us, the parts that we're selling, the biggest majority of them are already pulled and ready to ship. We don't have to wait on somebody to go to a junkyard on their time. And us and our buyers, our customers, sit and wait for a week or two for them to make a journey to the yard, hopefully get what you got or what you need, and then wait another couple days or whatever for them to figure out how much shipping is. We don't have that problem. One of the things that we do is sometimes, depending on the part, sorry, you're looking all wacky. I'm trying to sit this pedestal down. So like this mirror, I haven't done it, but I could tell the buyer, hey, it's, $12 to ship it, whatever. Throw a price at them that I think is realistic and reasonable, and then ship it. They'll pay me and then ship it. And here's the deal. If it costs $10 I'll offer them the $2 back. But on the other way, if it costs me $15, I don't ask them to give me another $3. I don't believe in that. So if I give a shipping estimate, that's what it is an estimate. Normally I'm pretty close. I've done enough of these parts, sold enough parts that I'm pretty close. But the mirror's off, ready to go. Mama Cat making her presence known. Hi, sweet lady. Hi, baby girl. Old Mama Cat. Everybody always says she's pregnant, but she's just chubby. She's like me. She got a chubby belly. But she won't leave me alone now that I've pet her. She'll follow me everywhere I go. Now that we got the mirror off, we can get that taken care of. I'm going to pull this valve cover off of here. Off this is the 85 Turbo Daytona. Pull the valve cover off and get Mama off of it. Because I want to check to see if we have a stuck valve or a rocker that has popped off. So, you may have seen a minute ago. I'm going to show you this real quick and then I'm going to get started. This is my socket rail. My stepson got me for this for Christmas. But on the socket rail, I have one of each. So I have 18, 15, 13. I got two deep wells, a short one and a tall one. A 10 and an 8 and a little extension. This is the same, 18, 15, 13, 10, 8. That socket rail goes everywhere I go. If I go to the U-Pull-It, that socket rail's with me. 99.9% of the bolts on these cars, that's all I need. Now, there are an occasion, like the nuts that hold the window glass to the window regulator, those are 7/16. But 99% of the time, that socket rail is enough to get me through what I got to do. Now, when you start talking about axle nuts and motor mount nut, well, actually, the motor mounts are 18s. Axle nuts are probably the only other thing that's not on that rail, and those are like 32 millimeter, I think. I don't remember. And then the lug nuts, you know. But that's about all you're going to need. Phillips head and a flat blade, a pair of pliers and side cuts, whatever. Most of these parts you can get off with just those. So let me get this valve cover popped off so we can take a look at that. We'll go from there. Alright, the valve cover's off. Just what I suspected. Number 2, rocker is off. So I'm wondering if that's not a stuck valve or if it just fell off while we were trying to crank it over. But you can see, here she is. It shouldn't be laying there like that. It should be up underneath there. So the push rod or whatever can push it up and flip the valve down. So let's figure this out and see if this is what's causing our issue. But we got to see if we have a stuck valve first. Because if we have a stuck valve and that valve's not opening, then it might cause it to happen again. So let's mess with that. So I got the rocker arm back on. Set the valve cover on it. I had done this earlier, but you can see it slung oil everywhere. So we're going to do the evil sin, spraying carburetor cleaner into the throttle body, because, you know, it'll wash the cylinders out and make it throw a rod to the moon. But this is what we got, hopefully. So no, I didn't leave it run long, just enough to show you that it does run. Plan is to get my buddy back over here so we can both, it's hard to crank it and spray it at the same time. For some reason it's still wanting to spit through the throttle body, but it actually sounds really well for what it is. So we're going to leave the battery charger sit on it overnight, next day, whatever, whenever he gets back over here, and we're going to mess with this some more. So hopefully we get another good engine that we can put on a crate and sell. So I'm done for the night. I'm hot, sweaty already. I ain't been out here very long at all, but it's still muggy, so I'm going to go in and get cleaned up, call it a night. Alright, Sunday AM, Sunday morning, 9:04. We're back in the tundra, as you can tell. bright today. Very bright. Not a cloud in the sky. The truck says it's only 81, but it feels a lot warmer than that. We were on our way to look at another car. It's one of those deals that... So I mentioned yesterday when I did the video that I've known about this car for a long time. And I've been trying to buy the car for a long time and could never... The guy didn't want to sell it, whatnot, which is fine. You know, he doesn't have to. A few months ago, we stopped. We was in the area and we stopped again, and his wife was there, and she's like, I really wish you'd get rid of these cars. But, you know, again, I can't force the man. So she took our name and number, and she said she'll give it to him. And that was it. Didn't hear nothing else. So yesterday, while my wife and I were having lunch, I get a random text message from the gentleman, and now we're on our way to go look at the car. I already expect it to be a parts car. The car's been sitting for a long time that I know of, maybe even longer than what I know of. I'm not sure. The problem I have with this is I've asked him twice how much the car is, and he just says, make me an offer. We'll come up with a deal. Well, as we all know, one man's price can be way different than another man's price. However, we're going to go down. We're going to take the trailer because if we buy it, we're going to bring it home today. So on top of getting ready for Carlisle and doing all that for Carlisle, we might be dragging home yet another parts car. If we get it bought, then it'll probably just stay on the trailer until I get back from Carlisle. So I'm gonna get the trailer hooked up. I am waiting on my wife. My wife is riding with me again today. We're actually going back to her hometown, so she likes going back down there, which is fine. Maybe we'll stop and see her mom, visit her headstone. So let me get the trailer hooked up. Let's get ready to go. We'll see what we get. Well, you can see we're back home. I was able to get down to this car and get back home. So we ended up getting this car, and then we got two more. So now I got to make the trip back down there 2 more times. Well, yes, 2 more times, but actually my buddy bought one. So there was a step-side Dodge pickup there as well. My buddy bought it, so we're gonna go get it. That'll probably be the next one we get. But here's what we got. It's a 1984 Shelby Charger, come with a free tree branches. So the story on the car sat for a long time, as you'll be able to tell here in a minute. But he somehow, the gentleman saw it going across to the junkyard. I don't know how that played out, but anyways, it was going to the junkyard, and he ended up buying it, and then it just sat. So unfortunately, the city that he lives in came along and seen this and all the other cars he had sitting and sent him a letter, and here we are today. So it's a 1984. It's got what looks like a good glove box door. It had a nice center armrest too, which is really unusual. These are always known, but this one's been redone. These are always known to be torn. Even though it's not the original material, it's still a nice enough armrest that somebody will want it. Windshield's cracked, but it's actually got a nice shifter boot, or at least first impressions are. They're known to tear along the base up in here, and then also around here. This one looks good. It's an AC car. Full console, sunroof. The sun visors are tore up, and naturally the seats are really bad looking. The embroidery's completely gone on the passenger. Driver's side is yellowed, and then it's got a little bit of wear mark right there. Otherwise, looks like it's a decent seats if somebody really wants a set. We got a set already that we haven't been able to sell. I'll pull them and store them. It's really got nice looking door panels on it for sitting outside as long as it did. But she's rough. We're rusted all the way up into here, so I'm going to assume it's across there. We got a rust here in the lower quarter panel. Rusted enough that the extension is gone. And then of course, up inside there. Front fenders don't look horrible. The floors are completely gone. This car sat for, I chased this car for 14 years. I've known about it. And if this, I don't know who called the city on the guy. I don't know what took place there. But if that wouldn't have took place, we wouldn't have ended up with this car, because he didn't want to sell it, which is fine. He doesn't have to. But he had to move it. Had to get it out of where it was. And fortunately he called us. And here it is. So instead of the car going over the scale just the way it is, like always, I always say this, we're going to preserve as many parts off this car as we can. But we got damaged quarter panel and then rust. That extension there is barely hanging on. We got rust up inside of here. And my guess is back behind this as well is going to be shot. But like I said, it is a factory AC car. And the blower motor switch is not broke. It's stiff as a board, but it's not broke. So that's a good thing. Shows 104,000 miles. Well, it shows 4,000 miles, but we're going to assume it's 104. So he said that this car come near to him. Somebody was on their way to junk it, and that's how he ended up with it. But while they were doing that, let me get this hood up. Hang on. Look at the sky for a minute. It's a beautiful day. Anyways, while they were doing all of that, they they removed the radiator. Surprised they didn't take the condenser and the alternator. The odd part is somebody had already changed this car to non-AC because it's got a non-AC bracket. So that's obviously a valuable piece. Somebody had it way out of time. But he said it does turn over. It did turn over. We're going to find out. We're going to see if we can get it to run. Probably not, but it's worth a shot. Somebody done some work there. The speedometer's unhooked. Lots of other just little miscellaneous pieces. There's the airbox bracket up there in the wiper cowl, and then I noticed the airbox itself is in the back seat. Nothing much in the back either. It's pretty bare back here. Ugh. Just some carpet, some household carpet. Unfortunately, the plastics are typical. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Crunchy looking. We'll find out more as we go along. So, another parts car comes in, and some good stuff on the car. I'm gonna take some pictures of the car and see if we can sell any of this stuff pre-Carlisle. I don't really have time to pull a lot of bigger stuff. We've already got fenders and stuff pulled off other cars and hoods, so there's really not a lot on here that we would have to worry about. Pretty much every part on the car, other than the blower motor switch, every part on the car that we would try to sell, we already have off other cars. So anyways, it's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm dirty, so I'm ready to go in the house and cool off for a little bit and see what else we can get into today. So I was going to close this video out. I was going to work on posting it probably tomorrow or even tonight yet, but so I called it a day earlier and was in the house chilling out and scrolling through TikTok. Yeah, I know. Some of it's funny and some of it's interesting. So anyways, one of the videos popped up and it was something like, how much do they laugh at you when you take it to a car show? And I was like, what are you talking about? So the gentleman whose post that this comment was made on was talking about, you know, what kind of car it is and stuff. So I viewed his profile, and it's an 89 CSX Shadow, and it's a very nice looking car. What leads me to this: why are people so dang hateful Like, when I was growing up, you know, my parents had a Plymouth GTX convertible, and we went to a lot of shows, a lot of big shows, Mopar Nationals, and, you know, a bunch of cruises and whatnot. The gnats are flying around. So anyways, but my parents always taught me that, especially my dad, because my dad was more the car person. It's kind of where I got the car thing from. But they always taught me that no matter how you feel about somebody else's car, you should never disrespect it. So I didn't. Plain and simple. There's a lot of cars that are at car shows that I could care less to see. If you know me personally, you know what kind of car that is. But I would never go out of my way to disrespect the owner of any car. Because at the end of the day, it's theirs, not mine. That's mine. And I would be upset if somebody disrespected it. That's my wife's. And, you know, we have others, but that's mine, and that's my pride and joy. I'm the one that's got the hours of labor and money and everything invested into this car because it's what I wanted. I don't care if you like it, but that doesn't give you the right to say things bad about my car. Just as it doesn't give me the right to say something bad about your car. And what I find is a lot of the people that make these negative comments, they don't even have a car. They don't even know what they're talking about. I think they just do it just because there's no repercussion. You know, if somebody was at a show with this gentleman's car or my car or her car or anybody's car, the person making these negative comments would not come up to you and say it to your face because there's a chance of repercussion. And I think that's what's wrong with society as a whole today, is there's no repercussion for negative actions. It's easy for somebody to get on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or any platform, you can name it, and make negative comments or hateful comments towards somebody because the odds of them seeing each other face to face are probably never going to happen. And that's part of the problem, I think. You know, I wish that could go away. I do enjoy the ability to get online and see cars that I probably won't never see in person because, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of cars you can, you know, that you're probably never going to see in real life, but you can get online and see them and look at them. And there's a lot of other cars that I love other than, you know, these little front wheel drive Mopars, you know, and I'll never own one most likely because they're way out of my price range, but I can still get online and see them. I just don't understand people. You know, I don't get it. And anyways, I didn't really want to have a rant on this video, but that's just like very aggravating. So get some respect. I think respect is a lost word to a lot of people. Not everybody, because there's still a lot of very respectful people in this world. And there's still a lot of good people. Not everybody's bad. But get some respect. And if you got something nice to say, don't say a damn thing. Don't knock somebody else's pride and joy. You know, it's not cool. It's not funny. You look like an idiot. You look like a babbling, ignorant fool. So, anyways, I am going to call it a night. I'm tired. But I'm going to call it a night, and we're going to go ahead and post this video. And if you're watching this and you know who I'm talking about, whose video I was talking about, you know, keep that car looking nice. It's a very beautiful car. And I appreciate you watching my videos. So, we'll catch you on the next one.